Funding provided by...
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we're committed to our foundation of personalized service while treating our customers like family and valuing our employees. Fairway Meat and Grocery, that's what we're all about.
By Muscle Lighting, the sports lighting specialists, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community. A beautiful summer afternoon in Fort Dodge, Iowa. It is Championship Friday here at the Rogers Sports Complex on the north side of Fort Dodge, Iowa. It is the site of 3 state championship games today in the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Softball Championships here. It's a rematch, number 1 and number 2, Mount Vernon and Davenport Assumption, ready to do battle here in 2022. And you could easily, Laura Leonard, just rewind to 2021. We have 3 rematches today. 2 of them happened in season. This is the one that was last year's title game. Davenport Assumption came from behind. Now, Davenport Assumption pretty much has standing reservations in this community. Laura, how do they reload year after year?
Well, they just have a great feeder program, and they start them off young and bring them up through the ranks. Everybody knows the terminology, they know the plays, they know the system. The older players bring the younger players in, and it's just like clockwork, and they show up here every year.
Mount Vernon was leading in that final. They watched the tape last year on the way home. As we talk about Davenport Assumption, they came from behind. They won the 3A title game 4-1. It's their 6th championship game, 7th consecutive tournament. Sydney Rowe, she has been outstanding at the plate. Not too bad behind the plate either, where she's catching this year in a new position. Assumption does a lot of things right.
Yeah, they really do. They just have all cylinders going. Their pitching has been really good, but they are always potent at the plate. They have those hitters right in the middle of the lineup that can knock the ball out of the park.
Mount Vernon trying to, as we said, they watched last year's final on the way home. They've kind of been motivated by one thing: revenge. Is that always a good idea?
You know, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I think they need to take care of business at hand here today, put that behind them, come out and start strong in this ball game.
Let's go to public address announcer Tim Fitzpatrick for our awards presentation.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union recognizes pitchers that have achieved 100 victories for their high school softball career. The 2021 season saw one pitcher reach 100 career victories. This year's honoree recorded a record 108 wins and 42 losses over 5 seasons. She owns every pitching record at her high school and ended up with 1,392 career strikeouts with 8 no-hitters and 44 shutouts. She went on to play softball at Indian Hills Community College last spring, where she pitched and played outfield while studying to become a physical therapist. Owning a record of 108 and 42, congratulations to 100-game winner TJ Stokes of Lenox. Presenting TJ with her award is IGH SAU softball administrator Jason Esslinger. Give another nice round of applause for TJ Stokes. The Jack North Award is given to an outstanding senior performer at the state softball and basketball tournaments. The annual award is named in honor of the former information director at the IGH SAU. Presenting the Jack North Softball Award is Jason Esslinger, softball administrator for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. The 2021 softball honoree is Anna Wohlers from Davenport Assumption Catholic. Anna was a 4-time state champion for the Knights. She was a 5-year letter winner and was tabbed the Metro Player of the Year as a senior. Anna was named captain of last year's Class 3A All-Tournament team and was the Class 3A Player of the Year. Anna continued her softball career at DePaul University. She batted .318 with 37 RBIs and 8 home runs for the Blue Demons last spring. Anna was twice named Freshman of the Week and was a second-team Big East All-Conference selection. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 recipient of the Jack North Softball Award from Davenport Assumption Catholic, Anna Wohlers.
It is 89 degrees. The wind is out of the south-southwest, 18 to 26. You can see the flag is blowing, pretty much going from home plate to right center field, Laura. We've seen this a couple of during these day games since Tuesday, Wednesday, and now into today. Does the wind matter?
I think it's going to matter in this game, especially this first game. We've seen the wind die down over the course of the day as we've been up here, but this one, we may see that there might be a little bit of an alleyway to that right center field fence.
All you have to do is just get the ball, get the bat on the ball. It's going to be hard to do with these pitchers here today. And now part of the fun is we get to meet our starters and non-starters as well as the coaches.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rogers Sports Complex and this 3A championship softball game between the visiting team, the Assumption Catholic Knights, and the home team, the Mount Vernon Mustangs. Now let's meet the non-starters. First of all, for Assumption Catholic. Number 6, Kelsey Hearn. Number 7, Charlotte Nidji. Number 11, Leah Morrow. Number 15, Catherine Snyder. Number 17, Molly Rowe. Number 18, Molly Riley. Number 27, Isabella Solis. And number 44, Ava Poston. Also injured, not playing, Bella Stoffrigen. Your assistant coaches, Erica Ralphs, Tyler Edwards, and Allie Poston. Now, here's your starting lineup. For the Knights of Assumption Catholic, leading off and playing center field, number 2, Jesse Wardlow. Batting second, designated player, number 13, Abby O'Dean. Batting third at first base, number 37, Helen Sons. Cleanup hitter for the Knights and doing the catching, number 32, Sid Rowe. Batting fifth at shortstop, number 1, Maddie Loken. Batting sixth at second base, number 10, Izzy Krogman. Batting seventh, doing the pitching, number 31, Bella Nidji. Batting eighth at third base, number 28, Callie Miller. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 9, Emily Yatoni. And your flex player in right field, number 3, Allie Kessel. Head coach for the Knights, Ron Farrell. And now, let's meet the non-starters for the home team from Mount Vernon. Number 1, Courtney Frank. Number 4, Abby Moss. Number 7, Taylor Frank. Number 8, Elsa Appleton. Number 13, Olivia Haverbeck. Number 16, Erin Jackson. And number 17, Madeline Miller. Your assistant coaches, Lori Moss, Jolene Winkler, Summer Brand, and Libby Ryan. Now here's your starting lineup. For the Mustangs of Mount Vernon, leading off, playing left field, number 12, Nadia Talaki. Batting second, doing the pitching, number 14, Jenna Sprague. Batting third at shortstop, number 3, Maya Bentley. Cleanup hitter for the Mustangs at second base, number 11, Addison Gukin. Batting fifth in center field, number 6, Ashlyn Steen. Batting sixth and doing the catching, number 2, Kenna Rollinger. Batting seventh, the designated player, number 15, Lauren Schwartzendruber. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 5, Avery Plotty. And batting in the ninth position, the third baseman, number 10, Lily C. And your flex player at first base, number 9, Cameron Brand. Head coach for the Mustangs, Robin Brand. Now please turn your attention to our home plate area. The umpires for this contest as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. At first base, Gary Wax. At third base, Travis Cheezick. And calling the balls and strikes this afternoon, Mr. Tony Nelson. All right, who's ready to win a state championship?
Ready? Ready. Let's do it. Good luck. Good luck. We're going to do it.
The umpires are ready. The players are ready. Here's the defense for Mount Vernon. Nadia Talecki, Ashlyn Steen, and Avery Plotty in the outfield. And it's C, Bentley, Gukin, and Brand on the infield. And your battery today, Jenna Sprague, will be pitching to Kenna Rollinger. That's your Mount Vernon lineup for the Mustangs, who are number 1 in Class 3A. And there come the Mustangs onto the field, Laura Leonard. What's it going to take for the Mustangs today?
Well, they've got to do a lot of different things, and we're going to get a look here at Jenna Sprague, and she's been very tough in the circle. She does have a lot of different pitches. She does not tell us a whole lot about what she throws, but she's very efficient, she's very good, and she moves the ball around, spins it quite a bit.
ERA under 1, and she's given up very few runs this week and all season. Here's the batting order that's going to try to get something going for the Knights. They'll lead off with Jessie Wardlow, Abby O'Dean, the junior designated player, Helen Sun, Sydney Rowe, Maddie Loken, Isabella Cropin, Bella Nidji, Callie Miller, and Emily Yatoni for the Knights. Now, Laura Leonard, your keys for the game.
Well, what Assumption needs to do, they're going to try to work both sides of the plate. They've got to keep hitters off balance, keep them guessing, work it both inside and out, and then put in a new wrinkle. And Coach Farrell thinks that, you know, if this game gets to be a chess match, you might have to pull something out of your back pocket.
And if anybody can pull one out of his pocket, I'm pretty sure it's him, but I think Robin Brand would say the same thing. She might have a trick or two up her sleeve. The pregame tosses are done. We've done all the warm-ups. We've had all the pageantry. It's time to play some softball for Mount Vernon. What are their keys, Laura?
They need to be loose, they need to be relaxed and forget about last year and have it be a team effort. If there's a mistake made, lift each other up, everybody come together as a team and try to pull this victory in.
Jessie Wardlow will lead things off for the Knights from Davenport Assumption. She'll bat from the left side. First pitch coming your way here at 2:43 on this July 22nd, 2022, and the 3A title game is underway. First pitch is a ball. Wardlow on the season, 485. She's one that can absolutely control that bat, almost do anything she wants to. Very much a multi-threat player. That pitch is a strike.
Well, she can, and you can see that the defense has adjusted a little bit, playing in a few steps, knowing that she can lay one down, she can punch it, she can do a lot of things, handles the bat very well at the plate.
Sprague on the 1-1 is outside, and Wardlow pulls the bat back. She can slap it, she can bunt it, she can hit it. That's what you need in that leadoff spot, especially for Assumption. That's something they have done year in and year out. The 2-1 off the plate. Rollinger tried to frame that one up for our home plate umpire, Tony Nelson, and that's something these catchers are so good at doing now, is how they give that umpire a great look at that pitch.
Yeah, they do a good job of moving around back there, holding it in place, trying to get that call.
3-1 is punched through between third and short for a leadoff base hit for Jessie Wardlow.
I think we just saw a good example of what she can do. She showed that she might drop down a bunt, she might slap, and this last pitch, she was able to take it and punch it right through the left side of the infield to get things started.
So Wardlow will go down to first, and that'll bring Addie O'Dean, the designated player. If you think that Wardlow's going to stay on first, that ball is bunted. Diving catch made at third by C. What a play!
She was in just enough, playing in a few steps, and she saw that, popped up in the air, and she put it into an extra gear and lays out and just gets it before it hits the dirt.
That is a beautiful play and a pitcher's friend when you can make a dive like that. You weren't able to double off Wardlow, but Jessie stays at first, now batting. Helen Sun, she had the Knights' only hit in the semifinal game but 6 inches from being a home run. Got it up in the air to right. Trying to do the same thing. She's got 20 doubles. That double, a couple of sac flies, and she scored. Wardlow running the throw down to second, not in time. And Jessie Wardlow is there with a stolen base. So now Helen Sons in a 2-0 count. Knights are sitting pretty here.
And Coach Farrell knows exactly what he needs to do. Was not able to advance that runner with the bunt, so puts her in motion. She's got the speed and the wheels to be able to get there. Got there well ahead of the throw. The
2-0 coming. And that's in there for a strike to Helen Sons. The first baseman averaging .467, 1 home run, 36 RBIs on the season. She's trying to add to that total here in the first. The 1-2. Thought about it, laid off. Sprague tried to get her to chase.
Boy, we have such a great vantage point where we're sitting. We can see the spin on the ball, you can see the movement, and you can see how disciplined these players are at the plate, laying off a pitch like that.
Sons swings through it, foul tip, caught by Sons for the out.
You know, and Sprague went out, way out on the pitch before that and got her looking out there, but stayed far enough out that Sons could not get a piece of the bat on that pitch, and it was right painting the outside corner.
Sydney Rowe having an outstanding season, has a chance with a runner at second with 2 outs. First pitch strike, they go out and up on that one. Rowe on the season a .525 hitter, 8 home runs, 50 RBIs, a slugger.
And a leader in 3A in a lot of those categories. We're in the top 10, I should say, and that batting average coming into the tournament, and she was way up over 500, sitting at number 5 in 3A for batting average. So, you know, a lot of those statistical categories, she has really proven to be that power hitter, that middle of the lineup hitter.
0-2 lifted into center. Underneath it is Steen, and the Knights are retired. They leave 1. They get a leadoff hit to Wardlow, and she steals second. That's as far as she can go, so that's how the Knights go. They send 4 to the plate, so Sprague's not going to be able to do what she did in the first game, or the last game of this tournament, where she pitched the minimum, but she'll take erasing any threat.
You just want to get through each inning with as minimal damage as possible, and yeah, if you give up a base hit here or there, doesn't matter if you have the defense to back you up.
And the defense of the Knights is out there. Emily Tony, Jessie Wardlow, and Allie Castle left, center, and right. At first is Helen Sons. Krogman at second, Loken at third, and Callie Miller at third base. Loken is at short, sorry. The catcher is Sydney Rowe, and the pitcher is Bella Nidji. We saw both of these pitchers in last year's title game. What does Bella Nidji do, Laura, for you?
You know, she just is so confident in the circle, and she does spin the ball. She's got a really good rise ball. We've seen that through the years from the Davenport Assumption pitchers, that they throw that rise ball very well, but she moves it around quite a bit.
We'll get a look at her in super slow-mo in just a moment. This is the batting order that she's going to face from that dugout, which is on the third base side. Nadia Talecki will lead things off. Jenna Sprague, Maya Bentley, Addison Gukin. The center fielder who just made the last out of the inning, Ashlyn Steen. Then Kella Rollinger, Lauren Schwartzendruber, Avery Plotty, and Lily C. That's how Robin Brand's crew works. Coach gives a 5. She'll head to the third base side, and they'll dig in with Nadia Talecki here against Bella Nidji, as she completes her last warm-up pitch where everybody's ready to go. The throw down to second. These two teams know each other, as we talked about in the open. Rematch of last year's title game. Very familiar, which sometimes is really fun to see. You might get tired of playing that other team, but when you're on the downside, you really want to play that team again.
Yeah, they've had all season to sit on it and think about it, but I think they use that for motivation throughout the season, and have used it very well. I mean, they knew what they wanted to do, get back here, get to this title game. They didn't care who their opponent was going to be, but when they saw the way the brackets fell and they knew they could have a possible rematch, they were ready for it. And you don't want to get too high and too keyed up, and that pitch got away from Niji. And thank goodness these players are wearing helmets nowadays.
Knocked off the chin strap off of Nadia Telecki. That ball rose up and right into her. I'm not 100% sure. She's kind of rubbing that jaw and wincing. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, it might have gotten her shoulder, then her helmet.
Yeah.
And you can see the chin strap gets knocked off there in super slow-mo. You're able to see that. So Telecki will go down to first with nobody out. So a leadoff hit by pitch brings in Jenna Sprague. She shows bunt, pops it up in the air, over almost the head of Miller, who has to do an over-the-shoulder catch. Just like Assumption did in their half of the inning, the second place hitter pops up on the bunt.
Well, one of the things, you know, we always talk about keys to the game, what you need to do. Well, execution is a big part of winning ball games, and both of these teams have had the opportunity to advance runners, have not been able to do it and execute the bunt.
Maya Bentley watches the first pitch, and if Niji was thinking that maybe Bentley was going to lay the bunt, they threw that one high, and sometimes maybe both pitchers did that in each situation that's sometimes what can happen on a pop-up bunt.
You get that rise ball, and if the hitter can't get on top of it.
Back to Niji on a one-hopper, back over to first to get the out. Bentley is retired, but Telecki goes to second on the sacrifice.
Pounds that right into the ground, and Niji able to elevate to get that. Thought she might look at second, but just going and getting the safe out to give them 2 outs.
Know your situation, a speedy runner coming down to second. You might not have got her, then you wouldn't have gotten either. Both runners would have stayed. First pitch now to Addison Gookin. Sorry,
and you don't want to put yourself in an early jam, so might as well play it safe, get the out, and then work on this hitter at the plate.
Telecki at second. There's the batter, Gookin. Ripped foul down the third base line, just over the camera well behind Coach Brand. So she saw that one coming, just couldn't wait up on the speed change.
You could just see the bat speed that was shown there by Gookin.
Hits her with the off speed again in front of Wardlow to make the catch to end the Mount Vernon half of the first inning. Very similar innings for both teams. A failed bunt and a pop up to center to end both rallies as Wardlow makes the grab, and we've played a full inning and no score.
Yeah, just a little bit of a slow start for both teams offensively, and I'm sure a few nerves for both of these teams.
There's a look at Coach Ron Farrell and his squad. Normally they've played on that first day of the year. This time it was Mount Vernon. They beat Wahlert on Monday night. Sadell knocked out Davis County. Assumption played the first game of the day on Tuesday. They beat Ballard in a 12-2 shortened game. Williamsburg beat Sioux Center. Then an outstanding game between Assumption and Williamsburg in the semifinals, and Sadell lost to Mount Vernon. Williamsburg won the consolation game 11-1 over Sadell, and that's how your tournament. What a great game, both of those semifinals in 3A.
Oh, they were fantastic, and it was just so much fun to be able to sit here and watch those games, and just the talent that all of these teams have here at State, and how well and how cleanly played those games were.
We go to the second now. It'll be Maddie Loken. Her first pitch is fouled up right above our head, and then it'll be Izzy Krogman and Bella Niji. If anybody gets on, it'll be Callie Miller. Loken, a .398 hitter, 2 home runs on the season, and 31 runs driven in. The 0-1 coming here from Jenna Sprague. That one's lifted high in the air, headed towards the line, very deep, and it just kind of gets away from Plotty. It'll be just a long foul ball.
And Loken got jammed on that one. Able to pull the hands back, turn on it, and you could see maybe a little bit of what the wind is going to do to high fly balls.
And you know that both of these teams were working on that in pregame, as they did earlier this week when they played in the similar conditions. That one's off the plate for Loken. And she'll get another pitch here with a ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the second inning. Leadoff batter is Loken. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and she's out. And that's the second strikeout for Sprague.
Pitch before that, you could hear Tony Nelson say, bring it in about a half ball. And she did. She brought it in just enough, and that was able to get Loken to go after it.
That'll be Izzy Krogman's turn now from the right side. Swing and a miss. So the umpires are mic'd. You can hear what they have to say. The coaches are mic'd. Get to hear what they have to say. I love hearing the coaches speak, but I also really like hearing the umpires.
Well, I think they work together with the catchers behind the plate. They're a team.
Popped up on the infield, and Gukin is underneath it, and Krogman is out for the second out of the inning.
You know, these guys have done a great job all week long, the umpires, and a ton of games that they have had to do. And I am going to say we need officials, we need umpires in the Girls Athletic Union for softball and basketball. And I mean, what a better opportunity and what a fun way to spend a week in the summer up here at Fort Dodge, being an umpire here at the state tournament. So something that interests you, go to the Girls Union website and get in there and say, hey, I would like to be an official.
Kathy Creighton says thank you, Laura Leonard. She wanted to make sure I got that in, and you did the heavy work for me there. As the first pitch to Bella Nidji is a ball. And Kathy supervises the officials here for softball. That pitch is inside. And it's also, I mean, this is a learning opportunity for players, just like it is the umpires. The umpires are reviewed, they look over maybe your position, because you always hear that from the stands. You didn't have a good view, and they're trying to get better, just like players try to get better. And, you know, players are always looking at, you know, what am I doing? Are my hands up? And same with pitchers, as we look at grips, and that pitch is in there on a 3-0 strike to make it 3-1. Pitchers and batters both have the advantage of video.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, you know, even in an in-game situation, a hitter will turn to the umpire and say, did I just swing at a bad pitch? Or was that, you know, where was that? The catcher will talk to him. So, you know, it's not only video and being able to see what you're doing and trying to make adjustments, but there's also in-game adjustments that you can make as well.
Well, and when the game's on television, you can also review too.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a little harder sometimes. We're going to have a courtesy runner for Nidji, who draws the walk with 2 outs. Coach Ron Farrell makes the move, and it looks like, yeah, it is. It's Kelsey Hearn, one of their versatile runners. She takes a big breath in and lets it out. Andy Adams last night for Fort Dodge. Did you see that part of the game? Where
yes.
She had to breathe in.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. Hey, you know, if that helps calm you down, and sometimes it does, whatever works for your team, sometimes you just have to take a moment like that to just settle the nerves.
Callie Miller looks at a first pitch ball. And there they'll push into Kelsey Hearn. She plays catcher, some third base. Coach Farrell calls her a future star. And it starts with smart running. High pitch chased by Miller, and she fouls that one into the net back behind us here at Harlan Rogers Park.
You know, and I think that's a big part of the game, understanding base running and understanding the situations and number of outs, where the ball's going to go, picking up your coach as you're rounding second base. That's just good softball IQ.
Off the hands, Bentley's got to hurry across the diamond. Bentley to Brand for the out, and the Knights are done here in the second. They leave another runner, and Miller is out by half a step, and that's how we go. Still just one hit in this game.
We're gonna stay on the end.
Let's go.
Good.
Hits on 3. What's
In, out, whatever. Don't call it.
Heard a little bit of the ends talk from Robin Brand. She's in this game again in the title game, second year in a row. Mount Vernon, very familiar. We talked about Assumption and how they have been here a lot. So is Mount Vernon.
Yeah, and they have 6 seniors on the team this year, so a veteran team coming back from last year's loss. As we've talked about early, that's some motivation for them, but you know, you talk to a lot of the players, they want to win these games, or this game, for their seniors.
There's a look at Bella Nidji in the circle in super slow-mo. Nidji told you a little bit more about her pitching. What did you see there, Laura?
Well, she will spin the ball, and you could see the good wrist action there. She gets good push off from the rubber, and she gets that rise ball. She can get that ball moving, and that has really been a good pitch for her all season and all career. And, you know, she said she's kind of developed a few things over the course of her career, and we'll throw a drop and a change-up that we haven't seen quite yet, and that rise ball.
So sometimes coaches come out and talk to the umpires about watch a certain contact with the rubber. Now it's about the towel from the back of the player. Jenna Sprague is wearing a black towel that matches her black pants, where Bella Nidji has the white towel, and Robin Brand just wanted to make sure that that was not on the side that the ball comes out to act as a distraction.
Yeah, and that's just a good pickup by the coaching staff, and you just want to make sure, not that Nidji was trying to get any kind of an edge or anything. It's hot out there, and these kids are sweating, and they want to make sure, especially the pitcher, wants to make sure she has a good dry grip to be able to get the ball to do what she wants it to do. And they just had to have her move it and tuck it over into a little bit different part of her backside.
Ashlyn Steen, a weak pop fly there, caught by Nidji for the first out here of the Mount Vernon second. It'll be Steen, Rollinger, and Schwartzendruber. And Plotty will wait and bat if anybody gets on that. On a hit like that, we saw one on the hands in the last inning. Little weak pop fly. What's that telling you about pitching and batting so far, Laura?
Well, right now the hitters are not comfortable against Nidji, and they're getting jammed. That one just could not catch up to it, got in on the hand, so couldn't get the barrel of the bat on it. And with a rise ball, you have to adjust, see where that ball is starting to move up the ladder, and adjust your stance at the plate.
Pop fly at second, dropping back a couple of steps is Krogman, and she retires Rollinger. So 2 pop flies to start. And not many pitches either. I mean, it's been a very light workload so far for Nidji.
She's been pretty efficient and around the zone, so these hitters are going after pitches. Maybe not necessarily the pitch that they want. They've got to be able to try to get on top of the ball and try to level things off.
First pitch strike to Schwartzendruber, the senior designated player. Swung on and missed. Schwartzendruber's name's so long it doesn't quite fit in the program. Very rarely do you have a player that can't fit. And, you know, when I was talking about it to Coach Brand, and, you know, when I said her name, I know it. I mean, Lauren played last year, but it's just, it is a lot to say. But that's the whole beauty of, I mean, everybody's a little bit different here. And oh, you're the girl. That's right. You're the one. Yes, I remember you now.
You know, that's what makes it so fun to be able to come back here and to the state basketball tournament. You remember these players.
And Schwartzendruber is out on a swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down, and that is the first strikeout of the game for Nidji, who had yet another efficient inning. She threw 7 pitches in the first inning, and now she just threw 8. So 15 on the game.
And rake the ball, all right? Sit on the one you want and go drive it. Don't be surprised by it. Don't flare at it. Go drive it. No more popping up. We've had 2 on small ball. We've had 2 small ball attempts, both been pop-ups. Can't have it.
Coach Ron Farrell there, I just was trying to stop it because I could see his mouth moving, and we were supposed to go to him like, I just stopped. So sorry, I didn't introduce it. We have the coach's mic. There's Ron Farrell, coach of Assumption, who can at time be very, very energetic. And let's talk quickly about pitching. This time, let's look at Jenna Sprague. What do you see here?
Well, as I said earlier, as we started the game, doesn't give us a whole lot about what she throws, how she throws it, but she will work both sides of the plate. She will spin it, and she's got a couple of different pitches that she will throw very, very well. And telling you what, these hitters right now have not been able to find a way to get on base.
Utoni tries on the bunt, and it's fielded by Sprague. That play's made right in front of the plate. That ball almost dies, but it rolls another 6 inches, and out by a couple of steps is Emily Utoni. So it'll be back to the top of the order for Jessie Wardlow.
On that play, you could see that Sprague picked that up barehanded, knew she had to get that throw over there quickly, so didn't pick it up with the glove, have to reach in and make that throw. Smart play to be able to barehand that and come up and make a strong throw over to first.
Sprague will continue her career by going to Kirkwood, which isn't that long of a road trip from Mount Vernon. Just go over on Highway 30 to Cedar Rapids and see what that junior college route takes her. The 1-1 pitch, Wardlow shows bunt, swings away, slaps it into left, and down for another base hit. Jessie Wardlow is 2 for 2, and both of them been to the left side.
Wardlow took a huge turn, was thinking 2 initially, but Telecki got to that ball quickly and got it in, knowing of the speed of Wardlow, able to keep her at first base.
Do all slappers go opposite side, or do you see some that can pull it? Is every slapper different, Laura?
Well, everybody's different in their approach at the plate, and a lot of the left-handed hitters will try to dump it in to left field, but some can turn on it and take it to right field or right back up the middle. So it just is the way that they approach it. If they're running up on it, do they want to just punch it and try to punch it through the left side? Also, it has a little bit to do with the pitcher as well, and the speed and how you handle the pitcher.
And we'll talk about, there's a player in our second game today that is so good with the bat, tells her coach where she's going to hit it, and just knows, hopes she gets the right pitch to do it. But some are so confident with that, as Abby O'Dean here is down 0-2. The pitch popped into the net. Foul ball. Will do it again. Now, I said to Abby O'Dean, I said, you're batting second, and I'm sorry, I don't remember you last year. She says, well, I was playing JV. I said, well, what changed? She says, it was my mental approach to the game. I had a conversation with Coach Farrell, and Coach Farrell knew she had talent and just kind of needed a little bit of an adjustment mental, and O'Dean has just had an outstanding season. And she swings through that one, and going down to second, Wardlow. So O'Dean is able to move the runner up at her at bat, just not with her bat. And O'Dean is down on strikes.
Second stolen base for Wardlow in this ball game. Another opportunity for Helen Sons, who has been swinging a very hot bat.
Sons struck out back in the first, bats here in the third. Offers almost was able to hold back her swing. She looks down, Coach Farrell gets the sign. She was second in the state in doubles. And usually a doubles hitter in softball means it usually ends up in the gap.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, she's gonna split the gap, so she is kind of a gap hitter to get that many doubles.
Helen Sons called strike there. It'll be 2 balls and a strike. At the end of the inning, we will bring back one of our features of our coverage here of softball, the in-game interview. Sons lifts it foul and over the netting on the third base side and out of play. Did not do that in the COVID year or last year, but this year we're bringing that back to ask the coaches in-game. And I was giving my normal spiel to the coaches, and I said, Coach Farrell, do you get tired of talking to me and Laura? And he goes, no, that means we're in the championship game. Now he's got to talk to us in-game. Bentley on one hop across, gets to Sons. Nice play there. And that is the third out of the inning. So Assumption, again, not able to get anything going after getting a Wardlow leadoff base hit. As Mount Vernon will go get the bats and get the helmets on, but Let's find out what Assumption thinks about things. Coach Ron Farrell is there. Coach, what are you seeing so far from your girls at the plate?
Well, we're not executing our game plan very well yet. I think we're still showing some nerves, but, you know, I think we'll settle in here pretty quick.
Nerves? I don't think Bella Nidji has any. She's only thrown 15 pitches, 12 strikes. What's she doing in the circle?
Oh, well, she's zoned in. She's on. She's real confident. That outing the other day for her did a lot of good for her confidence. So, but they've got an obvious game plan against us right now. She's going to have to mix it up a little bit here, or they're going to start getting on her, I think, a little bit.
Do you? Is this what you expected in this game so far?
Well, it's what I expected. Wasn't what I was hoping for. I was hoping to already have a lead right now, obviously. But yeah, we expected a real hard-fought, clean defensive game.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep.
That's Ron Farrell, head coach of the Davenport Assumption Knights, and he'll make the trek across. And he knew I was going to ask about Nidji, and he was excited.
Well, I'll tell you, Nidji has been pretty good, but you heard him say she's going to have to mix some things up. She's going to have to try to keep these hitters off balance, and she's done that so far. She's been efficient, and I think if you know, she told us, she said, I did not have my best game a year ago in this title game, and she didn't. I mean, she gave up some runs and had to be replaced, and so I think she's got that in the back of her mind as well, and she's going to bear down and come after these hitters.
First pitch strike, yeah, and I remember that part of the game, and it was just, there is a much shorter leash, it appears, in a championship game, whether it's basketball or softball. Coaches, maybe if it was a regular season game, might stick with a starter, but and this weak ground ball by Plotty back to Nidji, and the out is made at first, and that'll bring in Lily C for Mount Vernon. You don't want to have to make changes, dramatic changes like that, but you could argue that maybe that is what allowed Assumption to get back into the game last year.
Well, it's a one-game series. It's a one-game effort, and if things aren't working for you in whatever department of the game, you do have to make some adjustments, and I think players understand that.
Lily C pops it up, and Helen Sons puts the glove up, grabs it, and makes the out, and an efficient inning so far for Bella Nidji. That's only her third pitch. She's got 2 outs.
You know, and Nidji is throwing to a new catcher this year as well, so had to make some adjustments, had to work with Rowe behind the plate, and till they found that rhythm, and they seem to be on track here in this ball game. They seem to be working very well together.
Nadia Telecki fouls the first pitch off. She was hit by a pitch up there in the face area at the last time. Well, Nidji's catcher from last year, though, is here.
Yeah, Jack North Award.
We saw Anna Wohlers. I saw her before the game, like, gosh, if I don't know any better, that's Anna Wohlers. That one is hit towards left and is going to get down in front of you, Tony.
I got one.
So that is the first hit of the game for Mount Vernon, and it comes here in the third. Nadia Telecki on base for the second time this game.
A good job of going the opposite way. It got in a little deep, in on the hands, but she was able to fight it off and dump it into left field.
First pitch to Sprague, and Telecki trying to get those wheels a-moving. Sprague looking to help herself here. Pretty good with the bat in her own right. The 1-0 is a strike. Sprague was 1 of 2 with 2 RBIs and a key sacrifice fly in the 5th back in the quarterfinal game against Wallard on Monday. She bats here on a 1-1 pitch. Popped foul and out of play. And right at Mel at first base on camera. Hi, Mel.
There she is, going to try to stay warm today, have that sun in her face the entire day, but
stay warm, stay cool on a warm day. She said the hardest thing running that camera was the sun that she stared in all night last night. I think, what did she open with? My eyes were burned?
I think she said her eyeballs were burned. But she's back at it today, so she's a gamer.
Oh, Mel is absolutely a gamer. Kent is on the third base side, and he's loving it because he's getting a picture of Mel, and I know Mel doesn't like it. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. Sprague is down on strikes, and again, Mount Vernon leaves another run on base. That is the second strikeout of the game for Niji. And there's Kent. Gosh, hi Kent. Now we're getting a picture of you. He's on top of the third base dugout. There's Ron Farrell talking to his team, and we're going to have Robin Brand here in a moment as we find out what she thinks about this first game, or first part of the game. In our in-game interview with her, Coach Brand, what do you think of your approach at the plate here so far for your team?
You know, we've been making contact. We just need to make a little bit more solid contact. Hit that ball hard right in the middle. And, you know, these guys, they're going to come through right here. You've got a good pitcher, a good game going, and I wouldn't expect anything less from either of the teams. I think 0-0 ball game in the, in the fourth. I mean, I think that's a great game for us to get some. You know, we've had someone on. Nadia Teleki's been on both times, and our girls will bring her around, or whoever's on the next time. You never know who's going to step up, but they do. They've got each other's back, so I'm excited to see how the rest of this game plays out.
Jenna's warming up in the circle. She's having a pretty good game so far. What do you think of, what's your impressions of her pitching?
Jenna's in the zone. She's ready to go today. So she's going to give us her best, and these girls are going to back her up the entire game. And I'm just really proud of all of them for having her back, and, you know, for her taking everyone on her shoulders and getting the job done every time. So.
All right, Coach, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Coach Robin Brand, and it's been a busy week for the Brand family. Her daughter, who is an assistant coach, Summer Brand, has had a busy summer going through treatment for cancer for non-Hodgkin's or Hodgkin's lymphoma, and had treatment yesterday and is back with the team here today. And because I asked first about her daughter Cameron, and she goes, "Yep, that's the last one." It's just been a very emotional time for her this year.
Yeah, it has, and you know, to be able to have something like softball, to have a nice distraction, to kind of get through all of that, I think has been very helpful for them as well.
Sydney Rowe pops the first pitch up, and 1 out. So Maddie Loken and Izzy Krogman set to bat here in the fourth inning for Assumption. Yeah, as we talked about, this game is moving along as both of these pitchers appear to be locked in. This is kind of what I thought, Laura, about this game. Is this what you thought?
I kind of figured that that's how this game would go, but then I went back and I watched last year's game, and it was runs galore, and early on Mount Vernon able to get out, and then the explosion of runs by Assumption late in that game.
Grab made by Bentley as it's put on the nose by Loken. Nice grab there. Bentley has made both outs here of the inning at short. We got to see that one again.
Bentley is having one heck of a day in the field. She has made numerous plays so far defensively in this ball game, saving a couple of base hits that might have gone into the gap.
And now it's up to Izzy Krogman to keep this line moving for the Knights. They've been able to get a couple of runners on with 2 outs, or a runner on with 2 outs. Let's see if they can do it here in the fourth. The pitch from Sprague is low for a ball. You know, the finalists have only had 3 combined hits and 3 combined runs in the semis. Assumption won with 1 hit, which means Mount Vernon only won with 2.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? But that's a team that executed. They took advantage of the breaks that they got. They got the base hit. They were able to move the runners, push the runs across, and then they had the defense and the pitching to make it hold up.
Krogman hits it high, and what a catch made by Steen in center field. Krogman got that one up into the jet stream, but Steen went and blocked that out of the afternoon sky.
The defense that we're seeing here from Mount Vernon is spectacular. They are getting the jump on every ball. They're timing everything. They're getting a good read as the ball comes off the bat.
Not much to say there for Mount Vernon. They kind of know they need to, as Coach Brand said in that last interview, square the ball up better. That's easier said than done.
Yeah, I think both of these teams do now. You saw a couple of solid hits there in that last at bat for Assumption. So they're maybe slowly starting to hone in on these pitches of Sprague and maybe starting to level things off.
You said something earlier about, it made me think, in baseball that has become a major trend in the major leagues about not, and in the minors, not allowing a pitcher to go through a lineup twice, maybe three times. Does that apply in softball?
I don't think it does. However, starting to see a little bit more of a trend in that in the college level, where you're starting to see more coaches go to the bullpen and bring in a second pitcher later on in the ball game. But I think in the high school level, I think you got to go with the pitcher that has brung you to this point and not necessarily go, okay, they've seen you once, now we're going to do something a little different.
And I could probably count on my hand over the near decade we've done this tournament where teams, we weren't sure who was going to pitch. Pretty much everybody has the one pitcher. There's very few that, we alternate games, and then they trick you and say, no, we're going to figure out one in the semis.
Yeah, and there are teams that will have multiple pitchers, that have two, that maybe have the same stuff or different stuff, but are just as effective and keep hitters guessing at the plate. And so you might see a 1-2 rotation, especially as teams and conferences start going to doubleheaders.
Bentley, Gukin, and Steen due up for Mount Vernon here in the bottom half of the fourth. Nidji's first pitch is high to Bentley. Bentley made a couple of great defensive plays that you talked about, Laura. Now she's got to try to get it done with the bat. Laid down the sacrifice back in the first. Bentley, who's going to go to play soccer at Drake. Her Drake teammates actually came over to one of her regular season games to cheer her on. Those Bulldogs, they're just always cheering for each other, aren't they?
Always, always. Once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog. You back each other up.
And we are going to talk about another Bulldog here in just a little bit about how that support is still going. And it's 2 balls and no strikes to Bentley. Nidji now behind, comes with the pitch. Goes off speed and gets a strike. Tough pitch to hit.
That really is. That's low and away, off speed, but good discipline at the plate, not going after a pitch, not being too over anxious.
The 2-1 popped into the screen for a foul ball. Bentley, we just pushed past her socks, and that's what she calls superstitious. There they are. Usually code for superstitious socks is, Laura, she doesn't wash them.
You know what? There's a lot of athletes, especially a lot of softball players, and I'm sure baseball players as well, that have those superstitions that there's a lot of old, dirty, crusty, smelly socks at the end of the season.
You know that smell in August when you go into a locker room for football. You know that smell when you go in a locker room for basketball.
Oh, yeah.
It's a whole different level with softball.
I will tell you a story. When I was playing in high school, my sister washed my uniform pants one time, and I got so mad at her.
Bentley hits it hard to left. It's going to hit the bottom of the fence, and Bentley is going to be in with a double to start the 4th inning for Mount Vernon. Don't wash those socks yet.
No, don't wash those. Keep those on. That is keeping the hot hitting going. Good job of leveling it off, getting the barrel of the bat, sends it all the way to the fence, and quickly gets into second base. That's the start that they were looking for.
The Mustangs were like ready to run out of the dugout. They thought it was a home run. They were so excited. That's how well they thought it was hit. It was a rocket.
You could tell off the bat that it was well hit and just didn't have enough elevation to it to get out of the ballpark, but it certainly had that power behind it.
Bentley at second, now at the plate, and ripping it into left field is Addison Gukin. They're going to send Bentley. Here comes the throw, the play, not in time. Maya Bentley scores the game's first run on an RBI double by Addison Gukin.
Back-to-back doubles for this team, and Coach Robin Brand said, let's go, let's roll the dice and see if we can get that run in and put the first run up on the board, and they did. Throw was there, just a little offline, otherwise it would have been a close play at the plate.
Now, I was thinking, boy, that's risky, but you're right. Roll the dice, and you hit snake eyes. Pitches up in the zone to Ashlyn Steen, the center fielder, who's 0 for 1 on this game. She looks back to the umpire and says, Mr. Nelson, what was that? Ball. Okay.
We'll see if they might continue to try to string the hits together, or are they going to move the runner over to third?
Niji spins that ball on her hip, throws it in. Throw back to second. They have Gukin, the throw to third, not in time. So they threw behind the runner, and Gukin said, I'm just going to go to third. And so now a single, a pass ball, even a possible ground ball scores another run.
And
Good
well thought out and really good look. I think Gukin thought.
Safety squeeze, it's fielded. Let's see, Gukin's caught. She stumbles and is going to be tagged out at the plate. Loken chased down Gukin. And that play, which goes fielded by Niji, who runs her back first, throws to Loken, who was covering, and then tags her. Ball never came out. Great look, great follow by our crew to show you that exchange.
Yeah, really good job, and a good job by Niji. She immediately looked over to the third to see if that runner was coming on contact, got hung up right in the middle of the baseline.
Ball lifted, it's gonna land in front of Castle and right and roll all the way. Here around third comes Steen. Here comes the throw, not in time, and another run. So the Mustangs get a run a different way on an RBI single to right by Kenna Rollinger.
Well-placed hits by this Mount Vernon team just in front of Castle out there. Tried to keep it in front, but when it sneaks by her, that allows the run to come home, and run number 2 now on the board.
And we will have Courtney Frank come in to be the courtesy runner for Kenna Rollinger, who does her job. She puts the ball in play and let the defense fall as it may. Robin Brand pulls that card, and now she feels the game is speeding away in her favor. If your assumption, how do you slow this train right now?
Well, I think, well, you need to get an out is what you need to do. If your assumption, you want to be able to stop it right here, get out of it with only the 2 runs. But right now, this lineup for Mount Vernon, they are feeling pretty confident at the plate. And it seems like when one hitter finally breaks through, then the next one breaks through, then the next one breaks through, and that's exactly what's happened.
Schwartzendruber hits it in the air, playable at short, but drifting back and coming in is Wardlow. As Loken had that thing just keep carrying and carrying. Laura, I think that's the first time today we've seen the wind come into play.
Yeah, that one got up, and both players converged on it and communicated. Wardlow able to call off Loken to pull that one in.
So Avery Plotty try to keep the inning going for the Mustangs, who lead 2-0 here in the 4th. The pitch from Bella Niji. Hit towards right, and that's going to get down for another base hit, and another run is going to score. Here comes Frank, and it's 3-0 Mount Vernon.
Well, and that's, again, I think just the confidence at the plate. They got the momentum, they've got the fire, and just keeping the lineup moving, going to right field with it. And the run going to come home easily with 2 outs. Runners off with the crack of the bat.
Avery Plotty comes through big. Now it'll be Lily C. First pitch low to Lily, who popped up to the first base person. Back in the 3rd. 7th Mustang to bat here in the 4th. It's been lucky 4s for the Mustangs. The 1-0. Hit well towards left center, and that is going to get down for another hit. Coming around again, Plotty is waved. The throw to second, not in time. No throw home, and it's 4-0 Mount Vernon.
They were continuing to keep the runner going. 2 outs, yeah, you keep them going. The throw came into second. They were going to try to get the out there before the run scored. Throw did not get there in time as this ball sails on Wardlow. She plays it well off the fence, and you can see the run come across.
And Now we have a Rowe-Nidji conversation. There's
Right on top there, all right? Hey, do it. Do what you do.
Coach Brand say, do what you do. Right now, what are they doing? They're squaring up the ball, right?
They're squaring up the ball. They're getting good pitches. They're being selective at the pitches that they're swinging at, and they are getting on top of the ball. They're line driving it and getting the barrel of the bat on it and finding the gaps.
And we do have a little action in the Assumption bullpen. And Assumption has to make a long run from their dugout to where the bullpen area is. All of a sudden here, Laura, flashes of last year's game as Mount Vernon puts 4 on the board. Popped up, hits the foul, or hits the chalk line and then bounces foul. I'm sorry, it hit on this side of the chalk line, which made it foul. Nadia Talecki, who's gotten on base both times, first hit by pitch, then a single in the third. 4-0. Your score here in the fourth. Last year it was Assumption that had a couple of big innings. And that one hit by pitch again, Talecki.
Well, talk about taking one for the team. That's twice in this ball game. Starts it off getting hit in that shoulder and right in the ear flap of the helmet. This time right off the bicep of the arm.
So Lily C. stays at second. Talecki goes to first. Batting now, Jenna Sprague. Low pitch throw to third is going to, no, safe. I think there was a juggle on C going to third because that throw beat her. Let's watch it again. We're gonna get a good look right here. Well in time, the slide.
Yeah, you can see the ball coming out right there.
Right there, that big ball. But what Miller is saying is that she had a hold of the ball the whole time. And Coach Ron Farrell walks over to ask a little more clarification on the ruling, and he'll go back in. So the runners move up, C to third, Talecki to second on the stolen base. And Jenna Sprague, the two-place hitter, could blow this game wide open. The 1-0. Strike.
Well, and this is where you had mentioned it, Mount Vernon in this position a year ago and could not close the door. You know that Assumption has a really good lineup and really good hitters. So you have to come back out and you're looking, after you put a 4 or maybe a 5 or 6 spot on the board here, you have to go back out defensively and think, we got to go 1, 2, 3 right away. Cannot let them have any momentum, cannot allow them to scratch out any runs.
The pitch to Sprague, the 1-2. Change up, called third strike. And that's how it ends. But man, what an inning. Let's hear what Ron Farrell has to say.
Hey, we've been in a worse scenario than this against this team before, all right? We were down 5 last year and came back and whooped their ass, all right? Let's go. We've got to be back at it here. Now, we can't afford pop-outs. We got to keep hitting it on the nose. Last inning, we had a lot of squared-up balls. Let's turn the pressure on them right now. Every single bat really matters at this point in time. We have a good approach. You cannot have any, lazy swings. We can't have any wasted outs. If they earn the out, that's fine, but we can't give them any, all right? Everybody's toeing the chalk. Let's go. Make her uncomfortable.
Everybody's toeing the chalk. That one's a new one for me.
I'm not sure, unless that means get up in the batter's box. I don't know. I have not heard that terminology before. So they must know. It must be Assumption terminology because they all knew and shook their head. But you know what? He did bring up a point that they did square up the ball that last inning. They got some solid hits. They were right at players. But if you can carry that thought and that swing thought back up to the plate, then you might be able to get some hits and break into this lead.
Last year it was a 5-1 Mount Vernon lead in the third, and then in the fifth, Laura, the fifth, Assumption scored 3 runs, and then in the sixth they scored 6.
We're going.
Is it 2021 all over again?
Well, we've seen stranger things happen. Mount Vernon's hoping not. They're hoping they can shut the door.
Nidji, Miller, and Utoni due up for the Knights. 7, 8, 9. The first pitch from Jenna Sprague is a ball. Niji, who initially had committed to Toledo, then a coaching change, reopened her recruiting and ended up at DePaul, where she'll be reunited with back to Anna Wohlers.
Yeah, we asked her, you know, how did she decide on DePaul other than the fact that her teammate was there? And she said, you know, made the visit to DePaul, went on campus. It's a great campus, great education, great academics, and yes, Anna Wohlers is there. And, you know, there's a lot of players that have come from Iowa softball to go play at DePaul.
Squared up hit, short hops the fence. Niji stumbles around first, doesn't matter, she's in. You can hear her say, let's go, on a double. And Assumption picking up, like you said, Laura, squared that ball up beautifully.
Now she did, and she had a little bit of emotion after she got the strikeout at the last inning. Now she leads them off with a big double to start this inning.
6, courtesy.
We'll bring in Kelsey Hearn again for Niji on the courtesy run. On the double, so that's the third hit of the day for Assumption. 0-3-0 for the Knights, 4-6-0 for the Mustangs. Batting is Callie Miller.
You know, going back to DePaul and talking about some of the players that have been recruited, they're on the team. Anna Wohlers, Nicole Sullivan, who played for Mount Vernon, is on that team. And then Sarah Lehman was a graduate student this past year that pitched for Regina, and she was on that team, just recently graduated. So DePaul comes in and takes a look at these Iowa softball players, and
so
they have recruited a lot.
Miller was hit in the head, and she is going to have to come back to the plate. Initially, she was told to go to first on a hit by pitch, but since she attempted with the bat, Laura.
Well, I asked for the appeal, he gave me what he had.
She clearly pulled back. That wasn't even close. She was out, it was coming at her, she clearly pulled back. That barrel was clear back here. She clearly pulled back.
It didn't look like that to me, Coach. In my judgment, I thought she got a bad up here.
She was clearly back. I mean, the barrel was clear back here.
Then I blew it because it sure looked to me like she still had it out.
Well, that's a big blow it. That hurts.
I know. All right, we got 2 strikes.
There's the conversation. Gary Wax comes in, veteran umpire who has seen a few softball games in his time, and we saw the replay. Let's see it one more time. She's pulling it back.
I could see the argument.
I can see both ways. You're right.
Yeah.
And swinging through it is Miller, and she struck out. So as Coach Farrell alluded to, that's big, and now he has the first out of the inning.
You know, the thing that was really nice about the end of that conversation is Coach Farrell said, you know, that's a big miss. It's a big blow. But he pats him on the shoulder and just, you know, like, okay, I respect it. I respect that we don't see it the same way. And he went back, you know, no big argument, no big outburst or anything, and just gave him a little pat on the shoulder, and they went their separate ways, which is a nice thing to see.
Emily Utoni swings at the 1-0 offering, fouls it back into the stands.
And I think from Gary Wax's point of view, his angle he might have been able to see what he saw with that bat maybe still up in front instead of being pulled back.
And what he said is, in my judgment, this is what it looked like.
Yeah.
And that is the beauty of the 3-person crew that we have here, the luxury in the postseason in Iowa. Swing and a miss by Emily Utoni, and she's now down a ball and 2 strikes. Mount Vernon scored 4 in the top half of this inning. Assumption looking to use the same script as last year and mount a comeback in these late innings. High ball 2.
Well, an Assumption, they just want to push this 1 run across. They got it started off in the right direction to start this inning. They want to be able to take advantage of this and push that 1 run across, maybe get that rally going.
Sprague trying to pull in on that determined outlook she has on the game. A little bit of a, kind of broke in on her just a little bit at the end. Utoni didn't get a really good swing at it, but fouled off enough just to get another chance here. 1 out, 1 on. It's Hearn at second. The pitch to Utoni is high, and it's now 2 on and 1 out. Top of the order, here comes Jesse Wardlow.
That was a really good, patient at-bat by Utoni.
And especially from your 9-place hitter.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of coaches like that number 9 hitter to be their second leadoff, to top that lineup over, get it back to the top, and this is where Assumption can do some damage.
Jesse Wardlow, we talked about her multi-threat. What's she gonna do this time? Punch it to left again on the slap? That might be a little harder to score another run, as taking a couple of steps in out there is Telecki.
But infield has not made that drastic adjustment as they did when we saw her lead off the game.
Is that because there's runners on base?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
you just want to make sure that you can cover all your angles and get to the base that you need to get. You're not far out of position. You're in your normal position. You have a force over at third. You have a force at any one of the bases.
The 1-1. Fouled back. Wardlow, who switched numbers this year. She took her sister Olivia's number. Olivia now a Cyclone. They played 3 years together. You know, it's different in every family. We do need to finish the story with your sister. We'll get to that in a moment. But sisters sometimes, I have to hear about her again. And that was my first question to her, is like, what's it like to be, you know, this team is your own? Well, you know, I played 3 years with my sister, and yeah, it's different. It's me now.
Yeah, and she said that, but she said she wanted to switch numbers because she looks up to her sister and wants to play like her sister. And I would say that she's doing that this season.
Jesse now battles back on a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Another full count. Sprague trying to grind through this Knight lineup here with 1 out in the 5th. Hit right up the middle, right on the nose. Farrell's gonna have to hold. What an excellent throw from Steen. Wow. But the bases are loaded with 1 out, and Abby O'Dean due up for the Knights. You want to talk about squaring up a hit here, Laura. Watch this.
Just runs up on it a little bit, kept the hands back, and was able to send that right back up the middle, and a good job of holding the runner. But what a great throw by Steen to keep runners at their spots.
O'Dean had a big game against Ballard. What can she do here in the championship game? She falls behind on the first pitch. Sprague places it perfectly.
You know, Coach Farrell told us that O'Dean would go against Anna Wohlers in a home run derby in practice, and more often than not, O'Dean would beat out Wohlers in that home run contest. So she has the capability of launching a pitch here, sending it out of the ballpark and tying it up.
Ooh.
She has that kind of power.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Tournament Class 3A. One swing could make this really interesting. Sprague wastes one on the outside. Addie O'Dean, the designated player, takes a breath, 1 foot in the box. Now both feet in. Hit up the middle, off the glove, 1 run in. Here comes the second. The throw from Steen is on line, but late. It's a 2-run single for the Knights, and the lead's cut in half.
Well, right before this inning started, we heard Coach Farrell say, we've been in this situation before. Remember, a year ago, we were down 5, and we were able to come back. That's the kind of answer that you want from your team when you give up 4 runs.
So Wardlow moves up on the Addie O'Dean, so the 2 will be on.
You're up 2. Stay in your zone. We knew they were coming to play. Let's shut them down. We got 1 down right here.
You're up 2.
I'll try to tag and go. You got to read it, though, depending on the time.
Well, Robin Brand walks back into that dugout, trying to just Yes, we're still up 2, but it's 2 on for Helen Sons. 1 out. First pitch ball. Solis in for Odine down at first.
Wanting to get some speed on the bases.
There's a look at Solis.
We've talked about it before. Sun's a gap hitter if she finds the gap. Speed on the bases.
She hits it high in the air, playable and left. Coming in to make the grab is Telecki. Throws ahead to the third base. No go from Wardlow. Sons is the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the ever dangerous Sydney Rowe.
Sid Rowe, number 3 in 3A in total RBIs.
Hits it well towards center, up in the air, over and gone. Home run, Sydney Rowe. Can you believe it? The Knights have taken the lead 5-4.
Well, add 3 more RBIs to that total. And she went up there with first pitch mentality, swinging at it, gets it out to right center field. Gets that toe down, waits for it, timed it perfectly, and you can see Steen go back and watch it sail out.
Wow.
Wow is right, because this is...
I don't know what more you can say on a play like that.
If I remember, didn't Anna Wohlers hit a big home run last year in that ball game, in that championship game? I think it was in the
Yeah, it was in the
6th inning.
6th. There was a 2-run homer, and that was the last runs they scored. But yes, the catcher's position, and we've seen great. I mean, we've got we've had big plays by Assumption catchers over the years, and we have a little presentation there that Jean Berger is going to make, and she delivers that one from the Girls Athletic Union to the family of Sydney Rowe, and that is a collectible that might, or at least as of now, is the difference in this ball game. A 1-run lead for the Knights.
Yeah, all tournament long, balls have been returned, but that's one that's going to go to the family.
Emma Valinas, she had some big games for the Knights.
Right.
It's something about that position that's a huge hitter for the Knights. That one's hit in the air, up deep, up against the wall. Telecki, great play to get the out and to end the threat on Maddie Loken, but not before the Knights counter 4 with 5 of their own in the 5th.
Battle, like, give us your best, right? Let's go. Go get it. More runs! Let's go, let's go.
8 Knights go to the plate. 5 of them score in that inning.
It's just amazing. They never got down on themselves. They were able to go up. Coach gave them a little pep talk before they went to the plate, and they executed. They did exactly what he said. Barrel it up, line it out there, get on top of the ball. And they did all of those things and were able to scratch and claw and get the lead back.
We're stretching here. Tim Fitzpatrick leading us in what he does on every game that he is on the mic. And he has his own twists to make the game interesting. Olivia! And does the stretch, and he'll sing, and he's up there trying to keep the crowd loose with some music in between innings. And it's a full game experience here at Harlan Rogers for state softball. Leading off for Mount Vernon, it'll be Maya Bentley, Addison Gukin, Ashlyn Steen. You didn't hear much from Robin Brand. Do you think her players, they know the situation, right?
You know the situation because this is exactly what it was a year ago. And they don't want to have the same outcome. So they know what they need to do, and they're going to lead it off here with Bentley, who got the inning started for them in the last inning. And so she knows what her job is. She's having a great game. The Dirty Socks, they need to come through again for her.
Okay, well, the Dirty Socks, your sister, you were mad at her for washing your pants?
My uniform pants. I mean, that, you know, that we had a game and then we had a game the next day. Yes, those should be washed. I get it. But they still had a lot of hits left in them. And I'm pretty sure that next game I might not have gotten a hit. She might have washed the hits out of my pants.
Leah Morrow comes in for Assumption, the junior, in her 22nd game of the season. With more than 73 innings pitched. She has an ERA of 2.48. She's 11-5. She pitched on Monday against Tuesday against Ballard. And she pitches here. Not an inning replacement, but an in-game replacement. So again, another similarity to last year's title game.
Yeah, she came into that ball game and was able to close the door, but now comes in late innings. And is this that little bit of wrinkle, different wrinkle that Coach Farrell has pulled out, showing him another pitcher?
Ground ball hit towards short. It is Loken to Sons, one away. So Morrow goes to first, or goes to the one spot, Niji to right. And so Castle is out of the game on the flex. Do I have that right, Chris? Thank you, Chris Andringa, helping us out. Hand signs, sometimes he has to write things down and then he has to spell them out very clearly for me because I don't always understand. Same with our truck, who's keeping you entertained and informed. Morrow's pitch is in the dirt with one away here for Addison Gukin.
So maybe that does go back to what you had asked earlier, seeing a pitcher for the second time through the lineup. And Mount Vernon was able to hit Niji, so maybe...
And right on cue, a base hit up the middle. So, and that gets all the way to the fence, hustling into second, and standing up without a slide is Addison Gukin. New pitcher, same result. Back-to-back doubles for Addison Gukin.
Well, she didn't have any trouble adjusting to the new pitcher, and so I was thinking that, you know, maybe they're going to have to see something. They're going to see something different, maybe a little different speed, different spin. But Gukin able to step right up and lace one right back up the middle all the way to the fence.
So the tying run aboard with the go-ahead run at the plate. Ground ball back to Morrow. She looks at third. Gukin's caught between second and third, goes back to second, gets under. So a fielder's choice keeps both players for Mount Vernon on the field. Steen is aboard, and that'll bring in Kenna Rollinger as we look again, playing a little hot box on a hot summer day.
Yeah, second rundown that Gukin has been in here in this ball game, but throw was high and Gukin was able to go low and get the hand in under onto the base.
Rollinger comes in. She had an RBI double her last at-bat. Looking to do the same again with one out here in the fifth. Morrow's pitch is in there for a called strike. So if you went and took a break after the top of the fourth, you missed a lot. 9 runs. We go from really fast to a whole lot of offense. Off speed in the dirt, swung on and missed, but the runners are going to move up as Rowe blocks it, keeps it from going to the back of the screen to prevent further damage. So now Gukin goes to third and Steen goes down to second.
Now a little bit different mindset. Defense is going to adjust a little bit on the infield. As a hitter, you're thinking, okay, if I can get something and hit it to the right side, that will help push that run across. Or get a fly ball, get that sacrifice fly. So a couple of different thoughts. Got 2 strikes, so you have to shorten up a little bit with your swing.
And Rollinger has done that, just kind of creeped up a little bit on that bat. The 1-2 hit towards the right side. Man, that would have been huge if that was about 10 feet to the left. But instead it goes foul. Rollinger lives to see another day. Schwartz and Gruber on deck. There's a look at Steen at second. She represents the go-ahead run. Popped up foul again and out of play.
She's taking a deep breath. And we asked her, hey, are there any funny team stories that have happened throughout the course of the season? And she's like, oh yeah, there was this the other night in the dorm. She goes, no, I think I'm gonna put that back in my pocket. So, you know, some things happen throughout the course of the season that keep things fun and light and help with team bonding.
Well, since they'd watched the game last year on the way home and on this year on the way up to Fort Dodge from Mount Vernon, they knew that pretty much anything they told us would likely end up on the air. So that's experience there. The 1-2 is low. Great stop by Rowe, going down to both knees to keep that one blocked.
Yeah, Rowe is doing a great job keeping the ball in front.
In this at-bat, she's worked extremely hard, just like Rollinger has, to try to get another pitch and maybe catch a mistake from Morrow. The 2-2 is low. Count goes full. Battles all the way back from 0-2 as we approach the 4 o'clock hour here. And the 90-minute, now about an hour 20-minute mark of this game. Low, and the bases are loaded. Ball 4.
That was one heck of an at-bat for Rollinger. She fouled off a lot of pitches, waited it out, able to get the base on balls.
Okay, going to first is Courtney Frank. She'll run there. We're going to have a pinch hitter for Mount Vernon. That is going to be the flex, Cameron Brand. Brand, who's playing first, now gets a chance to swing in place of Schwartzendruber. Got it all? I'm gonna steal one of those.
Did you get that? Flex for the DP.
Flex for the DP, because that's what Schwartzendruber's position, so that's how that works.
Okay, one out, infield drawn in. You're gonna come to the plate on a hard hit to get the force.
First pitch strike. Brand probably taking the whole way. Cameron, the younger sister of the triplets. 2 boys and a girl. Summer, who we talked about in the dugout. After her treatment yesterday. That one's off the plate, and the count's even at a ball and a strike. And you know, men, women, whoever coaching, they love their players. They have an affection for them, but it's tough when it's your kid too. And you've grown up with a lot of their friends. As Brand fouls that one back into the net. And the Summer, only a junior, but you know next year will be a tough campaign.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic, and you're right. I mean, a lot of the players are probably over. They're all friends, and you know, you have to be coach sometimes. You have to be mom sometimes.
The 1-2 is bounced. And Morrow was trying to see how aggressive Brand would be at the plate. She's pretty loose, keeps the team loose, pretty funny. She'd like to be pretty serious with a base hit right here. The 2-2, fouled into the net. We'll do it again. Again, one of these multi-sport athletes, runs at state track, good volleyball team. Lots of good athletes, lots of state experience, trying to come up big on this stage right now. Bases full of Mustangs here, 1 out in the 5th. Gookin at third, Steen at second, Frank at first, the pitch. Hit in the air towards right and caught. Here comes the throw. The run is not in time. We're tied at 5. All the runners move up on a sacrifice fly by Brand. I'm not sure why you catch that, but you do to get the out, but the game is tied.
I think instincts kick in, And yes, I mean, maybe you could say let that drop, give her another pitch, but the momentum of Niji out there in right field going away from the play, so she had to catch that and right herself and try to make a solid throw in.
And that is a new fielder. There's Niji, who was just done pitching. And whether she, yeah, just a lot of things. There's always a lot of moving parts in this game. So Gukin scores to tie it up at 5. Steen goes to 3rd. Frank at 2nd. And Brand is retired. So now two outs here in the 5th for Avery Plotty.
Foot drawn. 4, drawn.
And we're gonna walk Plotty intentionally to put the force back into play and have Lily C.
Now Coach Farrell electing to load them up so they can get a force at any base on a ground ball.
C watches the first pitch, go for a strike. C with a double in the 4th. All tied up at 5. So we're back to where we were about a half hour ago. Tied up again. The 0-1. Hit up the middle, base hit, that'll get through. 2 more runs are gonna score. The run's cut off, the throw is cut off by Sons, and it's a 2-out, 2 RBI single for Lily C.
Boy, it shot right back up the middle, and Morrow gave a wave at it, couldn't get the glove over in time to get that ball that was ticketed for center field, just right underneath her glove. Krogman gives a good effort. Throw comes in, they cut it.
So Plotty goes down to 2nd, top of the order. Swung on and foul. Oh, that's a fair ball because it went in. It was not touched in fair territory or foul territory. So yes, that is a legit hit. But Robin Brand is arguing that it hit the bat, or that it hit the batter.
Here's the deal. I know. Here's the deal. If I was blocked by the batter, I did not see it come off. Now look, we pre-gamed this. If I didn't see something, then it's up to them to kill it. And if they didn't kill it, then we had nothing.
Okay. Would you just check because it hit her? That's
we
why
have
she's
nothing. We've already pre-gamed it. We're gonna go with the out.
So they're saying they can't appeal that because they talked about it as an umpiring crew. If they didn't kill it in the field, then they're going with the out.
All right, we've had an action-packed last couple of innings here. And it was moving along, a pitcher's duel, great defensive battle, but Mount Vernon pushed a couple of runs across in the 4th. 4 of them, and it was hit after hit. It was Maya Bentley led things off. Madison Gukin with another double, then a Rollinger a double, and then a Plotty single and a Lily C double. 4 runs came in on the 4th for Mount Vernon, and they took a 4-0 lead into the top of the 5th. And then Assumption said, all right, we can do it too. And it was a double by Bella Niji. And then it was a walk, and then a single by Jessie Wardlow, Addie O'Dean, and then the huge 3-run homer by Sydney Rowe gave the Knights a 5-4 lead. And then on a sacrifice fly, in the inning we just finished in the top of the 5th, or in the bottom of the 5th, Schwartz and Kruber, and then another back-to-back singles led to an RBI by Lily C. So I think I got everything in there. Close. 7-5 is our score as we go to the 6th. All of a sudden, Laura, we've had 2 completely different games here.
We have. We've had the defense and the pitching in the first 4 innings, and now all of a sudden the bats have come to life.
Let's look at the last play. And it rolled foul. It has not been touched yet, but you can see the thing spinning, and as soon as it hits the chalk, it's a fair ball. Helen Sons alertly grabs it and then runs the ball to first. Here's another look. And Telecki thought it hit her, and so she didn't run it out. And it went, and that is the perfect textbook, and I'm guessing we will see that with many coaches talking about that and umpires at clinics this next year.
Yeah, and it did. It looked, just the reaction of Telecki, it looked like that ball maybe came off of her shin or her foot, and she stopped. But the right reaction by Helen Sons as well over there at first. Let that ball come in back into play because you're right there, and you can tag the runner, or you can run to first base. And since the play was not called, umpire behind the plate, Tony Nelson, didn't see it. It went on as it was supposed to, play it out, and Assumption able to get out of the inning.
All right, the Knights come to bat here in the top of the sixth, back down by 2. Leading off is Izzy Krogman, Bella Niji, and Callie Miller due up for the Knights. The 1-1 pitch is hit well in the air towards left. Back goes Telecki, making the grab. Takes 2 steps, uses the fence as a brace, and throws it back in for the first out. Great defensive play.
Again, the defense has really picked up Mount Vernon, getting a good jump, just going with it, keeping her eye on it, fading back towards the fence.
Krogman gone, Niji to bat. First pitch strike to Bella Niji. Walked and had a double, so she's 1 for 1. 1 out here in the 6th. That pitch catches the zone, and Niji's down 0-2. Niji was 1 for 3 in an RBI in the quarterfinal. Asks for time and gets it.
Here we go. 2 strikes.
Top to bottom look there at Sprague. That pitch is hit to Hopper to Bentley. Across to Brand, 2 away.
Hard hit ball, and Bentley moving over into position to get in front of that. Kind of came up on her, but she stayed right with it. She has had a really good game.
Okay, so Kelsey Hearn is going to swing the bat. She's been in.
28, 15, 1-5. 15!
Okay, I was going to say, because Kelsey Hearn came coming out. Umpire.
5, 15.
Tony Nelson kept saying 15. So that's Catherine Snyder, the 8th grader. Snyder is another versatile defender, and she's just waiting for a couple of tough players to graduate so she can get a chance. So a look at the future here. Got some good speed, and so coming into bat is going to be Catherine Snyder.
At this point in the game, you have to start looking at all kinds of options, what you have on your bench. See if you can get somebody to get that key base hit, get things rolling.
There's a look at Snyder. Bats with 2 outs here in the 6th. The pitch. Swung on and missed right on through the zone there. As Sprague
gets her up in the zone, and Coach Farrell said, keep your chin down. Your head was pulled, it was way up, and she did. She saw another rise ball there, and she stayed off of it.
They went right back to that same pitch. Same pitch again, this time just a little bit lower, and Snyder is swinging through that one.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that was a tough one to hit. It was a little bit lower in on the hands.
Swing, or strike 3, and that is the 5th strikeout of the game for Sprague.
Top of the order. Top of the order. Oh no, Jenna, here we go.
Let's go.
Someone.
Hey, keep her rolling. 1, 2, 3. Keep her rolling.
Well, Laura, we're missing one person here from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union this week, and it is one that's close to both of us and to many people here, and that's Lisa Brinkmeyer, who was diagnosed with there's a look at Lisa, a true Iowa girl, played at Hubbard Radcliffe, and then when she played at Drake in basketball there, and as part of the union staff, she was handing out trophies and directing teams, and in basketball she's doing introductions, and she's been the administrator on sports, but she is battling a brain cancer, and it has been a tough go for her, but there's a way that people are getting a chance, and you and I, Laura, are both part of Brink's bench, and you've seen these shirts this week here. What does Lisa Brinkmeyer mean to so many?
I'm telling you what, Brink's bench, I think, sums it up, and you got to credit Stacey Evans, coach at Indianola, coming up with this idea. She played with Lisa at Drake, and you know what? She is our leader. She is everybody's leader. She's just one of the most genuine people that you will ever meet, and she is an Iowa girl, and through and through. I mean, all the way through Hubbard, through Drake, stayed in the state of Iowa, and is at the Union, and we all want to be on Brink's bench, because I don't think you could ever have a better leader than Lisa Brinkmeyer. I want to be on her bench all day, every day.
And so many people, this shirt here, when we talk about it, this is, shirt is available, and today is the last day you can order them.
Yes, yeah,
and
today.
if you want to be on her bench, and yes, we saw them here this week. And you know, Lisa, if you are watching, we do wish you continued improvement and good health, and get your tail back here.
Yeah, yeah. It's we want Brink back here, and want her at all the championship events, and she will be. She's going to battle it, and she's going to fight hard.
Jenna Sprague goes to right, over the head, in right of Castle. The throw in is a double, and Jenna Sprague, almost like Lisa's willing something. I think she kind of wanted us to stop talking about her and get back to good softball there because of her humbleness, but it goes over the head of the right fielder. Again, that's a new player in right. That is Molly Riley now in right. So all sorts of
courtesy
movement changes. So Sprague is going to be replaced on a courtesy. Elsa Appleton will go down to second. Elsa is a sophomore, so she'll go in place of Sprague. Maya Bentley batting with nobody out, and Mount Vernon looking to add a little bit of insurance here. Hits it to left, and it's going to go out of bounds and be a foul ball. Bentley, who had a huge hit in the fourth that kind of started all this. It's all her fault.
It is. Well, I think her teammates are very appreciative of that double that she had to start the scoring off after we had gone scoreless through the first few innings.
Morrow's pitch, off speed, out of the zone, evens it up at a ball and a strike. Bentley, then Gookin, and Ashlyn Steen due up now for Mount Vernon. Bentley 1 for 3, but that double was huge back in the fourth.
Well, you know, sometimes it just is one hit like that that wakes up the dugout and helps them shake things out. Everybody goes up to the plate very relaxed and starts hitting the ball, and that's what happened for Mount Vernon.
And, you know, there is something about that you see you expect it out of, say, your 3, 4, 5, but sometimes when it's the other players that really is, you go out on that off-speed pitch, goes right up the middle, and Appleton's going to be waved on to score. The throw down to second, cut off by Sons, throw not in time, and it's a double for Maya Bentley, and you hear "Let's go" again from the Mount Vernon crowd. Another run across, 8-5.
Just some timely hitting, and the timing is there, right back up the middle. And again, Coach Robin Brand sending the runner, not even hesitating.
Gookin fouls the first pitch into the net. 10 hits now, banged out by Mount Vernon. So whatever offense wasn't there yesterday or Wednesday in the semifinals is back today on Friday.
you know, it's just, this game is crazy. And there's games where it's 1-0 and you have the most potent bats in the world and you can only push across 1 run. And then there's games where you explode for 8-10 runs. And it just depends. I mean, there's just so many little factors that come into play in each and every game.
Gookin comes back in from the right side, down 0-2. Morrow looks in. Has the pitch, winds, off the plate. Coaches will tell you, Laura, well, actually they won't tell you this, but you know this is what they're thinking, is yes, getting to the state tournament is a good thing. Just getting into that finals, anything can happen.
It can, and it's very much like the regional final. It's a 1-game series. You have to be able to execute.
Gookin leaves the park as that ball goes up, over, and out. That one absolutely got into the jet stream. Home run for Mount Vernon.
What a shot. And that one did. She got all of it, but had a little wind behind it, and it sailed out of the park. And they were looking for 1 insurance run. They've gotten a lot of insurance runs here in this inning.
I looked up and thought, no, that's going to stay in. And I think so did. I think Wardlow thought too, and then that thing just kept on going, and nothing better than running the bases.
Yeah, Wardlow kept tracking it, and you could see her. She thought she had it. She was on pace, and it just kept sailing and sailing, and we're going to have some changes.
Nidji's going to come back in. Castle's going to go back into right. I think those are the 2 changes as Morrow goes out. Let's look ahead briefly. This inning's not over yet. There's still nobody out for Mount Vernon, but Assumption will have up the 9-1-2. So they're trying to limit the damage here, keep it at 5. So Ron Farrell goes out to the circle.
I'd be on those edges.
We were playing chess earlier, and now it's like me playing chess against my son. It's over quickly.
Well, you know, when we talked to Coach Farrell, he said, you know, we expect it's going to be a 1-0 game, a 0-0 game. We might have to pull some surprises. It's going to be a chess match, and, you know, he said, I know Coach Brand will maybe pull some chess pieces one way or another. I'm going to have to do the same and make some things happen. I think his move was to switch pitchers, and the Mount Vernon hitters were able to time it and continue the hitting barrage that they had in the 4th inning, continue to carry that over against Morrow, and so thus he makes the change here back to Nidji.
And I'm not saying it's over. I'm saying it gets out of hand quickly when I play checkers against Noah, or chess against him. And this is, but how many times, Laura? I mean, this is like it was in Assumption's quarterfinal game, and there's the home run ball chased down, and it goes back to the family of Addison Gookin. And that one's going to go in the trophy case at home. Right on down the line. And that's a keepsake they didn't expect today that they'll get to take home.
But welcomed.
But welcomed, exactly. Now batting is Ashlyn Steen. And Bella Nidji is asked to flip that towel back over to the other side from right to left in the back. We are at now 93 degrees. It's gotten a little warmer again. 10-5 our score here in the 6th. Fouled away and out of play. We had no runs and barely, I think, 3 hits through the first 3.5 innings. And then the bottom of the 4th, Mount Vernon scores 4. Assumption counters with 5, Mount Vernon with 3. We have a foul ball that came back. Oh, a ball out of the bullpen area. And then Assumption didn't score in the 6th. And Mount Vernon has already pushed 2-3 across. Every hitter that's come to the plate has scored. Swung on and missed by Steen. And she's down a ball and 2 strikes.
And you know, when we talked to Coach Brand the other day, she said, you know, we started the season with maybe 1 or 2 players because they have so many multi-sport athletes. They had kids that were in track and tennis and golf and all different sports. And she said, we did not have our full team ready to go until the day of the first game against Vinton Shellsburg on
May the
May 23rd. And so, you know, that's, and she lets them have a little bit of freedom and do what they want to do because there are so many multi-sport athletes on this team. And she said she kind of lets the players drive her and dictate her on how they're going to approach the season. And said if somebody needs a break, I give them a 2-week break. If they want to come in and get extra hitting in, we do that. So she kind of lets the players dictate a little bit.
And when you have multiple sports, you do need a break at time.
Yeah.
And, you know, and whatever your sport's love is, whether it's Maya Bentley is soccer, Jenna Sprague, she plays golf. She went to state. She was golfing on the Lisbon team, kind of on that sharing agreement for golf. They went to state, so she needed a little time.
Yeah, I have some kids that are running track. They all just need a little bit of a break.
Ball is an adventure when it gets into the air. Loken thought it was going to be on her right, then it goes away from her on the left, and that's going to drop and put Rollinger in with a base hit. All right, so Rollinger will go to the bench and be courtesy ran for by Courtney Frank.
Well, and, you know, talking about Mount Vernon, but Assumption, they graduated 9 players from a year ago. And so they have had to rebuild and build from the bottom up. They've had some players that have stepped in. We've talked about some of them. Abby O'Dean that have stepped up. Callie Miller that has stepped in and played very well for this team. And so 2 teams that were in this spot a year ago, but had to do it in different ways. A veteran team with Mount Vernon with the 6 seniors, but Assumption had to, they graduated those 9 kids and had to find replacements.
Pop fly caught by Loken on Schwartz and Druber's hit, and that'll bring in Avery Plotty. And here's another multi-sport player, Plotty, a great soccer player, according to Coach Brand. She also has good feet to the beat. On the street, she's a dancer. Again, all sorts, you know, Ashlyn Steen, she's the best singer. She's gonna do music at Simpson.
Yeah, we've got all kinds. We've got soccer players. We've got Plotty's going to go to Simpson for soccer. Schwartz and Druber, St. Ambrose be in the marching band. So it's not just sports that these players are involved in. It's all different kinds of activities.
1-1 count to Avery Plotty. Bats here in the 6th. Already 3 in, 2 out. Going on the pitch was Frank, and she'll turn around on the foul ball, and we'll do it again. Nadia Telecki, track, basketball. Can't believe I hadn't mentioned this. Nadia Telecki's mother, Paige Stamp.
From Lisbon.
From Lisbon, and that's punched through to the right side for a base hit. And going to third is Frank on a base hit by Plotty.
Well, this team's feeling it now. They certainly have the hitting shoes on and have really sprayed the ball all over the field.
And now Lily C. will bat. And Telecki will come on deck. I was just getting ready for Telecki's at bat. I needed to make sure I got that note in about Paige Stamp.
Well, yeah, and they won, Lisbon won 3 straight titles, 94, 95, 96.
First pitch to Lily C is a called strike.
And I'm going to throw in one more for Paige Stamp. Had the lowest ERA, still as a record, state record, in 94 of 0.04.
Jeez.
She's pitching coach now at Cornell.
Sending Chris into overtime here.
I know.
He wasn't
Now, I looked it
expecting
up
us to
last
go
night,
on
but I
Lisbon.
might be wrong. So he's gonna double check me.
As C now is down 0-2. Nidji grinding it out here, trying to end this threat. Get into the dugout and pull some miracles out. Called third strike. Lily C is out on strikes, and that's how Mount Vernon scores, but they open up a 10-5 lead. Let's hear what the Knights are going to do.
Hey, we talk about it all the time. You're not hitting, so calm yourself down. We talk about it all the time. It takes the big moment to be a hero. It takes the big moment to be well known. It takes the big moment to be remembered. All right? Well, this seems bleak, but you score 5 runs here, people are going to talk about you forever. All right? This is that big moment. All right? But it's going to take more than just one person. We can't have pop-outs. We got to go flat. We got to work hard for doubles. We got to string together 6, 7 doubles before 3 outs. All right? Now, every one of you can hit a double. All right? We just need to focus and do it all at one time. Good approach. Sit on your side of the plate. Sit on your spot, your pitch, still 2.
10-5 is our score here. Just want to reiterate, it is 2022. What was the score in 2021, Laura?
I think it was 10-5. I know. It just this game has been very similar to last year's game, except just kind of reversed a little bit.
So Davenport Assumption is going to go with a pinch hitter. This is going to be Charlotte Nidji, the 8th grader, is going to get a chance to hit. You just heard Coach Ron Farrell say, if you score 5, they're going to be talking about you for a long time.
Hey, I agree with that. I mean, that would be a comeback of comebacks. You can string together those hits, rattle this team, and start pushing some runs across. Everybody would be talking about that.
So Nidji pinch hits. Jenna Sprague goes into the circle to work here in the 7th. Mount Vernon. In their 9th trip to state. Swing and a miss. Still looking for that elusive first title in only their 2nd championship game appearance. The Mustangs did it with hitting throughout the season. We talked about great defense earlier in this game. And Jenna Sprague has been well above average in pitching.
Well, they have a number 2 team ERA, Mount Vernon does in 3A. They're number 6 in stolen bases, number 8 in fielding percentage, number 5 in batting average, number 1 in triples, number 4 in home runs. So they are in the top 10 of a lot of the statistical categories in 3A.
Nidji strikes out, and the top of the order will be Jessie Wardlow. That's the 6th strikeout for Jenna Sprague. You know, we've talked to Jenna Sprague a lot over the years, Laura. And sometimes when you talk to someone over time, you get comfortable with them. Jenna she is very guarded about her game, her pitches, her approach. As Coach said, I asked Coach Brand, I go, what rattles Jenna Sprague? She goes, nothing. She goes, I've even had to ask my assistants over time, is she okay?
She's just very fixed and focused out there in the circle.
Wardlow rolls over on the pitch and is out on a Guken DeBrand play. And the Knights are down to their final out. It'll be up to Abby O'Dean to keep the game going.
You can see the look in Sprague's eyes. Yeah, maybe just a little smile when they got that 2nd out. Turns around, gets the focus right back.
Just at 4:30 Well hit over the reaching hands of Gukin into center field for a base hit. Abby O'Dean.
O'Dean turns to the dugout and says, we're not done yet. Let's keep going.
We're going to have another change. Actually, I think we're going to have a pinch runner.
Yeah, is it 27?
Yep, and so that will be Isabella Solis. Solis goes to first. Batting is Helen Sons.
13's done.
So that'll be it for O'Dean if this game would continue. On this July the 22nd, 2022, just after 4:30 in the afternoon on the Friday. Is it championship win Friday or a championship game miracle for the Knights? They're down to their last out, and now they're down to just 2 strikes for Helen Sons.
And you've got a tough out at the plate. Sons can hit the ball, and she can find the gap.
Hit up the middle, base hit, bounces in front of Steen. The throw to second goes offline, and it's fielded by Brand, and there's 2 on, 2 out for Sydney Rowe. What'd she do in her last at-bat, Laura?
Well, she had a big home run that gave them the lead at 5-4, looking to get her team a little bit closer with one swing of the bat.
Do you walk Rowe here? No?
I wouldn't. You've got 5 runs to play with. You've just got to try to get the out here.
Sydney Rowe, first pitch ripped foul down the third base line.
I just think if you put runners on, you got a lot of pressure then on all of the fielders. The catcher, with bases loaded, one swing of the bat brings you to within 1 run of the ball game.
Sydney Rowe, the 0-1, again hit foul past third. And again, the Knights down to their last strike.
They've kind of gotten into her, gotten into the hands, and she's fought them off. Getting a good swing at those pitches, though.
The pitch to Rowe. Hit right back at Jenna Sprague, and that's how the Mustangs, the revenge tour is complete. State championship for Mount Vernon in 2022. No better way to end a championship game than a line drive comebacker right to you.
I'm not sure if she realized what had happened when she gloved that ball. She caught it, and then she went, oh my gosh, we just won the state tournament. And what a great reaction. But that ball, quick hands, got the glove up. That ball was ticketed for center field, probably would have scored 1 run for them and really maybe shifted the momentum. But what a great job. Same score as we had last year between these 2 teams, just a different outcome, and Mount Vernon is the state champion.
Coach Robin Brand and Ron Farrell meet there at home plate. And the 3A trophy is headed to Eastern Iowa, just not as far east as it has the last few years. It's stopping in Mount Vernon. Let's see how this one ended, because as you said, Laura, I was thinking the same thing. Hit on the nose, and then Sprague. Oh my gosh, yes, we did. That's exactly right.
She, you know, and a good job of hitting by Rowe. She went out and got that pitch on the outside part of the plate and leveled it off and was sending it to center field. But Sprague right there, gloved it. Took a second for her to realize, but she turns to the team and goes, all right, we did it.
Let's meet our all-tournament team.
Presenting the Class 3A All-Tournament Team medals is Farm Bureau Board of Director member Andy Hill. Here is your Class 3A All-Tournament team. From Mount Vernon, Jenna Sprague. From Assumption, Jesse Wardlow. From Mount Vernon, Nadia Talecki. From Assumption Catholic, Abby O'Dean. From Williamsburg, Peyton Driscoll. From Sadell, Dakota Lake. From Williamsburg, L. Ridgway. From Assumption Catholic, Sid Rowe. From Mount Vernon, Kenna Rollinger. From Assumption Catholic, Bella Nidji. And your 2022 Class 3A All-Tournament Team Captain. From Mount Vernon, Addison Gukin.
Well, when you're Addison Gukin and you hit a 2-run homer that really kind of seals the deal for your team, that's how you get to be the captain of the all-tournament team.
And that is a lot of talent right there on that all-tournament team. All of them, we've seen them all play all week and had outstanding performances, and that's why they're on the all-tournament team.
She was 2 of 3 in the quarterfinals, and then she scored the go-ahead run in the semifinals. So she was a key part in all 3 of the wins for Mount Vernon. As you take a look at the all-tournament team, one more big event to happen after these players.
Well, something that Mount Vernon has been waiting for. They felt like when they left the field last year, that fire started burning already, that they wanted to get back to this spot. And their motto was unfinished business, and they got it taken care of.
Participating player will receive a commemorative softball provided by Iowa Farm Bureau, title sponsor of the Girls Athletic Union. Presenting awards are members of the IGH SAU Board of Directors: Russ Adams, Travis Fleshner, Ron Fodness, and Jennifer Donalds. Congratulations to the runners-up in Class 3A, head coach Ron Farrell and the Assumption Catholic Knights. Congratulations on an outstanding 2022 softball season. And your 2022 Class 3A state softball champions, head coach Robin Brand and the Mustangs from Mount Vernon.
The Mustangs rolled in this one, Laura. Great field in Class 3A, great final.
It was a really good final, and we've said it multiple times. It was very much like last year's contest. Close in the beginning, a lot of offense late, but Mount Vernon with those 6 seniors, they're able to hoist that trophy and have a lot of memories.
Well, on their 9th trip to state, it gets them their first team title. We started with a lot of emotion and great pitching and defense. Then here came the offense. But guess what? As Mount Vernon crosses the they now have finished business, and we have finished 1 game. We have 2A coming up next, 1A to follow. For everybody here at Iowa PBS, so long from Fort Dodge. We'll see you in just a little bit for Game 2.
Funding provided by...
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we're committed to our foundation of personalized service while treating our customers like family and valuing our employees. Fairway Meat and Grocery, that's what we're all about.
By Muscle Lighting, the sports lighting specialists, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community.